So, last number of talks, and also last talk, we have been discussing on these 5 hindrances, and we elaborate on these things. Now, during this type of talks, during the 5 hindrances, I expanded it more than what I speak during in the retreat. During in the retreat, I can't speak that much because again, time is limited. Here, I can slowly stretch if I want to. And in the retreat time, sometimes within 2 weeks, you have to cover a number of things in order for yogis to understand things better. But we are not looking in the theory so much when we are in the retreat. We are looking in more of a practical aspect of it. But here, when we are not in the retreat, then we look into a more practical aspect and also more on the theory aspect. So with the theory also, sometimes, especially at this time, it can be very helpful and also it can be inspiring also, at least to keep our desire burning, that chanda burning, to keep us going in this more or less difficult time. Now, so we come to this. Going to start off with another part of the Noble Eightfold Path. In the Noble Eightfold Path, there are several layers. In the sense that one layer is the practical part of it. That means you have to do it. You have to, whether you know much of the theory or less of the theory, but if you do much of it, then it will be excellent. That will be wonderful. That means it involves the meditation aspect, it involves the sila aspect, it involves the dana, the service, and so on. Those type of things. Then the other aspect of Noble Eightfold Path also is these hindrances. You need to abandon the hindrances while you are developing and while you are going forward towards enlightenment. And the hindrances, not only we have to abandon them, but at the same time, we use them. We use them like a stepping stone, just like we use them in the Chittanupassana or Dhammanupassana. We actually use them to gain more momentum in the mindfulness. And to see them as anicca, see them as dukkha, see them as anatta. Kind of like using them as a stepping stone to sling us forward further into the development. Now, when we can do these things, also it is equally as important that we understand the further development when we comes into, especially in the meditation part, in the development part where there's a direct path towards the enlightenment already, and not so much of a daily aspect like dana, sila, and so on anymore. Not so much of a service anymore. But this time is the real thing already. This time is that you have to really develop them, strive them in order for you to touch enlightenment. Now, so we're talking about 37 factors of enlightenment, at least on the overview side. I'm not going to be able to talk everything. If not now, it's impossible for us to finish this. If we want to expand and go through further and so on. But towards the coming weeks, I'll be concentrating more on the 5 faculties and also the 5 spiritual powers. Then understanding that we're already able to develop also all of them, all of these 37 factors of enlightenment too. So, all right. So let us see what are the 37 factors of enlightenment. At least we go on an overview, right, for today's talk. Let's see. Okay, let's go into screen sharing. All right, can you all see? Wait, okay. Can you all see 37 factors of enlightenment? All right. So, okay. Satta Timsa Bodhipakya Dhamma. 37 Satta Timsa Bodhipakya are factors or requisites of enlightenment. Pakya Dhamma. Now, here in this one of the sutta in Anguttara Nikaya, I think book 7. After we go through that also, we go through that sutta too. But in the first thing, let me go through these things. It's the sutta here. It's called Bhavana Sutta. The title is Development. Now, bhikkhus. When a bhikkhu is not intent on development, even though he forms the wish, may my mind be liberated from the taints by non-clinging. Yet his mind is not liberated from the taints by non-clinging. For what reason? Because he lacks development. Lacks development of what? Number 1, of the 4 establishments of mindfulness, the 4 right strivings, the 4 bases of psychic potency, the 5 spiritual faculties, the 5 powers, the 7 factors of enlightenment, and the Noble Eightfold Path. Then the Buddhas mentioned another one. Bhikkhus. When a bhikkhu is intent on development, even though he does not form the wish, may my mind be liberated from the taints by non-clinging, yet his mind is liberated from the taints by non-clinging. For what reason? Because of his development. Development of what? Then all the 7 part again. So altogether, that 7, you spread it out, it becomes 37 factors of enlightenment. So 4 plus 4 plus 4. So you got 12, 12 plus 5, then you got 22. Then you have 7, you already have 29 plus 8, so altogether 37. All right. Now, let me stop sharing for a while, and then we go to that particular sutta. Okay, hold on now. Hold on, that's it. It didn't come out yet. Hold on now. Okay. Let me share again. Okay. All right, yeah. Okay, can you see? Number 71, development. Okay. Wait, hold on. I'll put it bigger for you. This is a bit too small. Okay. Let me see. Okay, the one development, you see? Okay. All right. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. Just now what I read. It's the same thing. But the Buddha mentioned a little bit more. Suppose there was a hen with 8, 10, or 12 eggs that she had not properly covered, incubated, and nurtured. Even though she might form the wish, may my chicks pierce their shells with the points of their claws or beaks and hatch safely, yet the chicks are incapable of doing so. For what reason? Because the hen has not properly covered, incubated, and nurtured her eggs. So that it's Because when your condition is not there, the chicks will not hatch. So you must able, the mother hen must able to cover it, incubate it for a number of times, for some time, then only the chicks will hatch, the chicks will come out. So too the same thing, that we have to put in some effort in doing so. So too, the next thing also the same thing. Just now I have read also that one. And then suppose there was a hen with 8, 10 or 12 eggs that she had properly covered, incubated and nurtured. Even though she might not form the wish, may my chicks pierce their shells with the points of their claw or beaks and hatch safely. Yet their chicks are capable of doing so. For what reason? Because the hen had properly covered, incubated and nurtured the eggs. All right. So now, so too, again, it goes into again with another, this one. When bhikkhus, a carpenter or a carpenter's apprentice, sees the impression of his fingers and his thumbs on the handle of his adze, if I pronounce it correctly. This is like an adze is like a kappa, kappa. It's a, what do you call that in English? Something I forgot the word. This is not parang. This is not a machete. This is the where you want to chop and split wood. Something like that. He does not know. If I've worn away so much of the adze handle today, so much yesterday, so much earlier. But when he has worn away, X, that's right, X. Wait, X, yes. So too, when a bhikkhu is intent on development, even though he does not know, I have worn away so much of the things today, so much yesterday, so much earlier. Yet when they are worn away, he knows that they are worn away. Something like that. It's just that, for example, if you use tools long enough, like carpentry tools, like your hammer, and if you keep on chopping over time, it has formed as if like a mold towards your hand. It's those handle has worn out and then it molded, just like form like your hands curves. So this is what it means. But you do not know when it formed, but over time, you know that it slowly formed. So too, all these 37 factors of enlightenment is like this. So, I mean, it would be good that if you have the time, you go and read it more for that. Now, also what I want to share with you is this. These 37 factors of enlightenment, and the Buddha says very clearly, if even you don't wish for it now, but if you develop, even don't wish for Nibbana, let's say, but you develop all this quality, let's say, you develop all this quality, you will still attain or realize Nibbana. But usually, the practitioner usually already have the aim for the Nibbana, usually, more often than not. But although the Buddha say all these 37 factors of enlightenment, then, as I said, there are devotees, there are monks, there are nuns, that they don't follow these things. They want this enlightenment so badly. They're willing to do all kinds of things except the 37 factors of enlightenment. For example, as I said a number of times, people are very attached to, for example, to their amulets. These type of amulets give you that power. If you have that power, it gives you that enlightenment. The real life thing is something like this, and also again, as I said some time or some talks back, I said some devotees or some monks or some nuns sometimes are foolish. They're foolish in spiritual sense, but in the real life, in the everyday life, they can be doctors, they can be engineers, they can be well versed even in the Buddha, in the theory of the Buddha, in the Dhamma, the theory of the Dhamma. They somehow or another they are able to read and understand many things, but somehow or another, when it comes to enlightenment thing, they can forego all their theory and just believe to some special esoteric teaching of a monk or a nun or a Longpo or a Sayadaw, and they believe in that enlightenment already. No striving, no need to do all those things. And they believe in those things without these 37 factors of enlightenment. So too, like those people who understand it theory correctly, but then when they meditate, they don't want to strive, they want to sit down carefully, sit down easily, practice, just be aware, and so on, and then they want that enlightenment already. Yeah. That's what happened, that I've seen these things happening here and there. And sometimes also, perhaps if you are moving around in the Buddhist circle, you find these things is happening. And those things are not very far away. And sometimes within Malaysia itself, you have these things. Not only this, for example, another thing I recall is that those monks or nuns or devotees, again, they read all these suttas and then they claim that they are already enlightened already. No need to practice so much. Or sometimes not only they believe themselves, they believe other people. They believe other Longpo or Ajahn or Sayadaw or this devotee or that devotee. Then they have these special powers. And these special powers, they can as if create magic, create some kind of spiritual powers, and then they believe that these people are enlightenment, have enlightenment already. And sometimes there are monks also, some monastery I've been, that they can proclaim this monk to be enlightened, that monk to be enlightened, their Ajahn is enlightenment, already enlightened, or their Longpo already enlightened. But they don't. But the way how the devotees or the monks sees them is just that they are just calm and peaceful and walk quietly and so on. Then there's no much of a teaching of any of the 37 factors of enlightenment. No deeper teaching, no more penetrative teaching of the 37 factors of enlightenment. Any group of them. But they already proclaim that, or they proclaim others that they're already enlightened. This is happening in our time right now. Now, if you are so inclined into these things, I wish that you can, hopefully, you can go through your mind, go through all these things and don't believe. And you don't just do believe and so on. I mean, you go through your wisdom a little bit, churn it through. Just don't go and believe some senior or your senior devotees that you may known them for so long already. Oh, these devotees, this brother or this sister has been practicing for so long already, and then they must be right one. I'm just a beginner only and so on. then these things, then you're going to get us. I mean, if they are the right people, then it's wonderful to you. But if they are wrong people, if you, without your wisdom, without understanding, without, you think about it deeper, then you get caught in all these type of things. So many people I've walked around, but how to tell them that this is not enlightenment and this is not the path towards enlightenment? I've seen until Bali, as a numb already. What can you do? So many people are like that. And these things are happening around here and there. Now, again, here, the 37 factors of enlightenment. What do you see right in front of you in this sutta? That whichever meditation that you want to go through, make sure that they have these 37 factors of enlightenment. Then only you can say that this, when they have those things, then this meditation is inclined towards enlightenment. And here again, it's difficult for us to comprehend these things, because nowadays, when it comes to that level of meditation, especially in the meditative state or methods of meditation, different methods of meditation. Of course, nowadays there are so many methods of meditation. You got the Thai tradition, you got the Burmese tradition, you got the Sri Lankan tradition, and then within the Thai tradition, there are so many traditions. Within the Burmese tradition, you got so many traditions. Within the Sri Lankan tradition, again, you got so many traditions. Not only that, then if you cross over to Mahayana, then you have Zen tradition, and you have this tradition, that tradition, all different type of method of meditation. And then, of course, for many of you, they'll be confusing. Are they all correct? Or are they all not correct? Are they all able to lead you to enlightenment? Because every one of them will claim that they are enlightened. I mean, they will claim that they are towards the path towards enlightenment. So that's why there are many devotees are confused because of it. And the coming Friday, there was already a question sent to me about these things. They're confused with so many meditation they have, as if like you're going to a supermarket. We've got so many yogurt for you to choose, or so many chocolate for you to choose. Which one you are supposed to choose? Which one is the best? Which one is the, there's so many things. Right now, meditation also is like going for shopping like that. So, if you really want to choose which meditation is good, then at least if they fall under any of the 37 factors of enlightenment, and they speak of them deeply, clearly, and then there's a practice of it. As far as I know, I know because I practice this Mahasi method. Then in the beginning, I also like you also mong cha cha one, and I do not know, just follow people, follow friends, and so on. Follow certain teachers, and not so much of friends. Follow certain teachers, and then go and meditate, and then okay, at least then later part, when we look back, I look back, then as I understand that, then the whether this Mahasi method falls within the 37 factors of enlightenment or not, then the way I look at it, then it also Mahasi mentioned about all these 37 factors of enlightenment in great detail. My preceptor, Sayadaw Pandita, also mentioned this thing in great detail. And in many of my teachers also mentioned these things in great detail. in great detail, not only in theory, but also in great detail in the practice also, in the actual practice. So because I know that this method follows this principle of 37 factors of enlightenment, therefore I follow it. Not because I just follow a teacher, not because I like the teacher, not because I like the method, and so on. It's not about well liking. It's based on principles. It's based on certain things. Yeah? So when I go around, sometimes as a yogi, or I just as a traveling monk, sometimes we travel from one place to another places, and without not be teaching, but just to experience monk's life, in a different place. And then that's what we are seeing. Some yes and some don't. And some are actually following it, some don't, some are struggling, that we understand also, some is completely out. Some is completely out. Also, I go there once in a while. In the past I went there, but in the future perhaps also I will go there, just to see what is wrong. Sometimes you just cannot figure out what is wrong. Only you have to see them what they are doing wrong, then only you know that what is wrong. You think that in the development of Dhamma, you have to differentiate what is wrong and what is wrong view or unwholesome, and what is wholesome and right view. You cannot just practice what is right only, and you do not know what is wrong, because once you fall into what is wrong, you may think that that also is right now. So it is important for us to base our development, especially in the meditation, based on the 37 factors of enlightenment. Any of it, if they have these things, then you are quite safe. Yeah, and you are quite safe. All right. Now, these 37 factors of enlightenment, they are not there all the time. What I mean is that we are not looking at this life. We are looking in the time in samsara. We are looking in the time while we are still in this cycle of birth and rebirth, in this samsara. The teachings of the Buddha is not there all the time. That means when the teachings of the Buddha is not there, 37 factors of enlightenment also will not be there. That means that beings will not be able to get enlightened. But on the other hand, the Dhamma, the Buddha Dhamma, like right now, like they are still arises they are still there in this world, still can be able to penetrate it by beings. But if you are reborn in the wrong place, also cannot. Also you cannot be able to receive all these things. Right? Now let me share the screen. Let me share the screen. Now, later part we're going to go into what are all these things. You see, 8 inopportune moments. 8 inopportune moments means that the Buddha has arisen in the world, but one's existence is the hell realm. That means you cannot get the Dhamma. Number 2, one's existence in the Peta realm, the afflicted spirits, also you cannot. One's existence in the animal realm, also you cannot able to understand the Dhamma. Although the Dhamma is, the dog may go into this one, he may hear the Dhamma, but he cannot able to understand the Dhamma. But then in the suttas, this animal, some animals are very small percent. There's a few animals. They're somehow able to listen to the Dhamma, listen to the chanting of the Buddha. And when they died and they reborn in the better planes of existence. So for you all, you all have those pets at home, like all your dogs and cats. Sometimes you turn on the Godang Saranang Gacchami Iti Piso Bhagawa. Who knows? Before they die, and they also reborn in the better planes of existence. Because they are quite near you already. You love them so much. Everything you give it to them. You sayang so much. Anyway, come to number 4. One's existence in the certain Brahma realms. That means this one is the Asanya Brahma and the Arupa Brahmas. Asanya Brahma, we talk about it a number of times, that these Asanya, that they have the body, but they do not have mind. When they do not have mind, they do not have the faculty of hearing. If you do not have a faculty of hearing, you cannot receive the Buddha Dhamma. And then Arupa Brahmas also the same thing. They do not have the hearing. They do not have the hearing faculty. So here, this type of existence is in opportune moments. Like what is this? After the Buddha gained enlightenment, before he before he preached to the 5 ascetics, and then the Buddha remember his so-called teacher, the so-called teacher, in the sense that before he got enlightenment, then he met this Dukkha Ramaputta and just the other one I can't remember. Because I just remember these things. So these two so-called teachers of the Bodhisattva, they died before they can before the enlightenment of the Buddha. So they died and then they are reborn in this Arupa Brahma. So when they were born in the Arupa Brahma, the Buddha, when he gained, and the Bodhisattva, when he gained enlightenment to become a Buddha, he wanted to preach to these two person, but they pass away. They pass away, reborn in the Arupa Brahma. So when they reborn there, then this being will be so long there. Even the many Buddhas will come and go, they will still be there. Number 5. One's existence in the remote area. That means you are far from the Buddha Dhamma. You're far from the Buddha Dhamma. And here, remote area during the Buddha's time, you see, the Buddha's teaching during the Buddha's time is like northern part of India. Now, if you stay in like Malaysia and so on, that time if you're existing, there's no Malaysia yet. If you exist right here, right now, then you cannot able to receive it. Or you're far away. That time there's never heard of Dhamma, never heard of what is Buddha. So you were not able to receive all these things. Number 6. One holds wrong view even near the Buddha Dhamma. That means, for example, if you're born in a certain religion, let's say, you're born into a certain religion, or you're born in a certain religion, or while you're alive, you can attach to certain wrong view. Again, it's impossible to understand the Buddha Dhamma. Okay. Number 7, one is foolish. That means one is foolish in the sense that it can be stubborn, or it can have lacking of the wisdom. This one also including those who are deficient in sense faculties during birth. Sense faculties during birth are also, again, is important for especially for human beings. Especially for human beings. When you want to learn the Dhamma, all your 5 faculties has to be intact. It is said as a condition to learn the Dhamma. Yeah? They say that these are the conditions. Your five faculties, your five indriyas, has to be intact. This is your sense faculties to be intact. Number 8. The Buddha has not arisen in the world, and one is wise and clear mental faculties. That means you are wise, you have wisdom and all that, but there's no Buddha Dhamma at that time. Perhaps you are born in the what we call the Dark Ages. The Dark Ages when there's no Buddha Dhamma, but you arise during that time. If you want to read this, let me see whether we can go there or not. Okay, let me stop the screen sharing. I'll share with you another. Go and read a bit on that now. It will be interesting. Book of the Eights. Okay. I think it's what was that sutta paragraph? Hold on now. Oh, 29. Okay. 29. Okay, 29. Okay, let me go here. Hold on. Coming already. Wait, hold on. 29, 30. Okay, now the next one. Okay, the previous. Yeah. Okay, here. In opportune moments. Can you all see? Let me bigger it a bit now. Nowadays, all these things we have to bigger it because mostly those people who listen to me it's all like 40 or 50 above a lot. Those people like 20, 30 very few only. I can see. I know who they are also. Very few. So they can see the fonts are small, it's okay. But for you all cannot. For me also cannot. But the thing is right in front of me, so it's quite easy. So in opportune moments there, you see, there are these 8 opportunities. Here the Tathagata has arisen in the world, and Arhat, perfectly enlightened, accomplished in the true knowledge and conduct, fortunate knower of the world, unsurpassed trainer, Itipiso Bhagawa Arahang Sammasambuddho. Those things. But the person, number 1, but the person is reborn in hell. Okay? Number 2, the person is reborn in the animal realm. Okay? Number 3, the reborn in the afflicted spirits. This is the Peta. Okay? Number 4, born in a certain order of long-lived devas. Long-lived devas here, the commentary says that is the Arupa and also the Asanya Deva, Asanya Brahmas. Okay? But a person, here number 5, a person has been reborn in the outlying provinces among the uncouth foreigners, a place which bhikkhus, bhikkhunis, male lay followers and female lay followers do not travel. Okay? It means there's no opportunity for them to hear any Dhamma. Number 6, a person born in the central provinces but holds the view and is distorted perspective. Reborn in the central provinces, it means that reborn in the existence of the Buddha Dhamma. During the time of the Buddha, they think of them as like the Middle Earth. The India is like middle of the world like that. China also think that they are also in the middle. 中国 they are so middle. So India also during the Buddha's time they are what they call, they believe that they are in the middle of the thing. So they call it central provinces. Okay, but holds wrong view and distorted perspective. What is meant by what type of wrong view? Those things below there. That also we have already talked about it a few months back. This is number 6. So number 7, okay. A person is reborn in the central provinces. That means he's there near the Buddha Dhamma, but he's unwise, stupid, obtuse, unable to understand the meaning what has been well stated and badly stated. So this one is foolish. That means the faculty of wisdom is lacking. Number 8. A Tathagata has not arisen in the world and the Dhamma and so on, but a person has been reborn in the central provinces. That means they're reborn in the place where the Buddha is supposed to arise, and he is wise, intelligent, astute, able to understand the meaning what has been well stated and badly stated. That means here is that in the text, in the commentaries, it is mentioned that when the Buddha arises, the Buddha will arise in somewhere in India. It cannot arise like anywhere else. According to commentary, around that part in the Jambudvipa. So it is said by the commentary. But we do not know what happened in the past. We will not know what happened in the future. We take the commentary, something like that. Okay, but anyway, this is what it meant here. So it's a bit good that you all have when we have this opportunity right now, and you have this opportunity right now, it will be good that we do it. We cultivate this 37 factors of enlightenment as best as possible. So you have this quality right now for all of you. You have this quality that the Tathagata has arisen in the world. That means the Dhamma is still there. Although the person of the Buddha is not there, but the Dhamma is still there. Now, and the person has been reborn in the central provinces. That means here right now, we have the Dhamma. We don't have to worry about the central provinces, about the India, because right now in the northern India also, the Dhamma also is very shaky. Not like in Burma or in Thailand or in the Buddhist countries. So here we're born in the central provinces. That means that's near to the Dhamma. But he's wise, intelligent, astute, able to understand the meaning what has been well stated and badly stated. That means you have this quality. You already have this quality. Now it's a time for you just to cultivate it further before we pass away. Because next life, we really do not know where we're going to be reborn. So here is that, as I said, we have to cultivate these 37 factors of enlightenment as much as possible in this very life. Because even if you think, some of you may think, oh, I'm old already, I'm not be able to cultivate this thing, Let me wait for next life to cultivate these things. This next life is like a gamble. And you are gambling. You are betting. You are betting on your karma. Betting on your karma, you think that, since this life I've done a lot of dana, a lot of sila, a lot of meditation practice, more or less I think I'll reborn in the better planes of existence, Yes, not to say that you are wrong, but you can't disregard what you have done in your previous lives. And they also can take the effect in the next life also. But anyway, say that you were born in the Deva planes, but not in the Brahma planes, but just in the Deva planes. And the Deva planes, right now also, they still have the Dhamma. Not to say that they don't have Dhamma. But according to the Buddha, even during the Buddha's time, that many Devas do not believe in the Buddha. Just like humans are, they reborn in the happy planes of existence, which is considered happy planes of existence. Then many people also don't have respect or understanding towards the Buddha Dhamma, although they may heard of the Buddha. So too in the Deva world also the same thing. There are many monks. There are many Devas have no regard towards the Buddha, the Dhamma, or the Sangha. So that's why some of these Devas we are very cheeky and they're very very fierce. They will come and steal and provoke you, whether you're monk or nun. They don't care. That's why the Buddha gave us the certain types of suttas is to prevent them from harming the monks or the nuns or the devotees, or also like a more stronger one, you can invoke the general to count him all the problems. So anyway, the thing is that in next life you may not have the opportunity also, because even if you're reborn in the Deva realm, the Deva realm is so happy. You don't have to worry about COVID. You don't have to worry about your sickness. You don't have to worry about old age that much. You have a very long life, as if like you are immortal like that. You don't have to worry about the food or shelter and so on. But there are some devas who are earthbound devas. Sometimes they don't have shelter, but this one is considered not too many. But there are higher devas. They are fine. They are not earthbound deva, but they are in their own realm. So here this type of devas they are so happy they forget about the Dhamma. You go there, you can enjoy until the end of your life. I'm going to die already. I forgot all my Dhamma. Oh, then you're back again to reborn, let's say, in the human world. Then you reborn in the human world again. That time, no Dhamma liao, bo liao, habis liao, finish. Then what can you do? You miss the opportunity, and then after you got to wait for a long period of time for the next Buddha to arise. But then some of you are so intelligent. But Bhante, maybe I become a Pachika Buddha, Bhante. Don't have to worry about the next Buddha. Become Pachika Buddha. Oh, you only want to become Pachika Buddha. Oh. You want to be Pachika Buddha is a silent Buddha. They arise when there's no Samma Sambuddha. It is said. And then they says that this Pachika Buddha, they also get enlightenment also. Without the teachings of a Samma Sambuddha. We are using the teachings of a Samma Sambuddha, not a Pachika Buddha. Pachika Buddha is a silent Buddha. They don't teach. But during these times, this Pachika Buddha arises, then they can have a lot of Pachika Buddha. But when you comparatively to beings, they're negligible. Negligible. Their amount is negligible. So don't harap, don't harap about being a Pachika Buddha. The Buddha says, one Pachika Buddha is like 1,000 Sariputta. One Pachika Buddha is like 1,000 Sariputta, elder Sariputta, venerable Sariputta. And then you need like 1,000 Pachika Buddha for one Samma Sambuddha. That is the comparison. So if you are not even the quality of an Arahant yet, you don't harap you become one Pachika Buddha. Just to tell you how far away you are. Some people gao-gao, pandai, they can think of everything, they just don't realize that how far they are away from it. Anyway, Anyway, let's go back to this one. Now, these are inopportune moments. So we hope that we are not there. So while we are here in the opportune moments, there are the times where the Dhamma is there. So make sure that we don't disregard the 37 factors of enlightenment, because there are devotees right now who said that they do a lot of dana, a lot of sila. Enough for me already, tak boleh already. No need meditate, no need meditate. What for meditate so hard? Why for you go and strive all these things? Oh, just do good will do lah. But what can I say? Anyway, now here is what it mean by all these 37 factors. Now, there are 4 establishments of mindfulness. Just go through a little bit. Mindfulness of the body, mindfulness of the feelings, mindfulness of the mind, mindfulness of the Dhamma. Now, this 4 foundation of mindfulness, I already took more than 3 months to give a talk, on these things. In the retreat time, just concentrate on the 4 foundation or 4 establishment of mindfulness. Take a long time. Sometimes it take me 1 vasa to finish. And I feel that sometimes 1 vasa also, I really haven't covered everything. And then the next one is the 4 right strivings. So here the 4 right strivings are similar or the same as the 4 right effort in the Noble Eightfold Path. But later part I'm going to talk about it also. Effort of preventing unwholesome states to arise, effort for abandoning that of the already arisen unwholesome states, effort for the arising of the wholesome states, effort for the sustaining and increasing of the arisen wholesome states, mental states. 4 bases of psychic or potency or spiritual power, iddhipada. This I gave a talk, I think a few months back, also in Zoom, and also we live stream it. I think they still have this talk somewhere. You got to go and choose. You're going to go somewhere. I think somewhere in maybe January or February, somewhere there. Now here it means the concentrated willpower or concentrated desire, the chanda, concentrated effort, concentrated consciousness, or concentrated investigation. Concentrated here means will means that you already know your goal, and your goal is very clear to you. You make that will, you concentrate that will to attain that goal. Now, effort here, concentrated effort means that you practice day, night, day, night, day, night, day, night, day, night, day, night, day, night. You keep on pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing until you attain the enlightenment. Consciousness here, concentrated consciousness, something like no matter what the hindrances, what is the everything that is going to block you, all these things, people say cannot, you're sick, old age, and all that thing, but your mind is already set. Your mind is already made. Your consciousness already made for the enlightenment. Investigation. Investigation here, that means your concentrated investigation. That means you already discern your text properly, and also when you practice, you pay attention to everything very clearly. You can able to discern that very clearly. Then this is, you fall under it. And as I said, this one, beings, one of it can be quite powerful. One of the 4 can be quite powerful. It depends on your temperament. You will have all these 4, but one of it may be the stronger form of it. Now, 5 spiritual faculties and the 5 powers. So therefore, they are the same. Conviction, faith, effort, mindfulness, concentration, wisdom. Here, here the 5 spiritual faculties and 5 spiritual powers. We're going to talk about that in the other talks. Now, 7 factors of enlightenment: mindfulness, investigation, effort, joy, tranquility, concentration, and equanimity. Now here, the 7 factors of enlightenment, they are You can use it like a balancing factors also, just like investigation, effort, joy, they fall under the effort group, they call it. And tranquility, concentration, and equanimity, they fall under what we call the concentration group. Whereas sati, it stands on its own. So that too can use it as a balancing factor also. And also in the suttas also is mentioned about these 7 factors of enlightenment as balancing factors. Anyway, then we have the Noble Eightfold Path: right understanding, right thought, right speech, right action, right livelihood, right effort, right mindfulness, right concentration. This one, we talk about that a lot. Now, here, when we talk about 37 factors of enlightenment now, what I want to drive into all of you is that these 37 factors of enlightenment, when the Buddha used the word 37 factors of enlightenment, this is when you are actually striving. It's not for when you are in the everyday life thing. It's not for your everyday life, or you do dana. For example, there are speakers that I heard of. I give you an example, something like this. That it says that, okay, you go out, you do dana. Oh, you do dana in your everyday life. Let's say you do dana. Oh, I'm cultivating this dana. I have this joy right now. Oh, this joy is my factor of enlightenment. This one is not your factor of enlightenment. This is only joy, but this is not a factor of enlightenment, This, you don't dilute the factors of enlightenment, or you don't dilute the 37 factors of enlightenment to your own satisfaction or to your own understanding. This one, it's for when you are actually cultivating, when you are actually striving. Then it falls under 37 factors of enlightenment. You cannot say like, for example, you cannot say like, you're mindful in your everyday life. I chop my vegetable. I chop mindfully. Chop. Oh, I'm cultivating the faculty of sati right now. Cannot. You cannot say that you are cultivating the pancha indriya or the indriya of faculty. You cannot say these things. This is not for your everyday life, and then you think that, oh, just do all those things can get enlightenment. Tak boleh. You are not, because I heard recently there are speakers who talk about these things. It says that you can cultivate these factors of enlightenment in the everyday life. No, you cannot. This is meant when you actually go to a place and you actually strive. Now, this you have to put it in your minds strongly. When the factors of enlightenment, when we talk about factors of enlightenment, it's the time that you are really striving. Okay. But anyway, the thing is that you still have to start somewhere, isn't it? If not, it won't come to the factors of enlightenment, right? It needs something to start. It needs somehow, you need to cultivate something to start, so that the factors of enlightenment comes in, isn't it? So therefore, when you look at these 7 factors of these 37, these 7 components which make up the 37 factors of enlightenment. The way I look at it, some have the preliminary practice and some has the advanced practice. Advanced practice, that means it falls under what we call the 37 factors of enlightenment. Some only have advanced practice, but there's no preliminary of it. No. Okay? Take for example, the fourth foundation of mindfulness. If you want to develop something, you need to start somewhere, right? Or you cultivate the mind. So you start off with four foundation of mindfulness. You should start off with four foundation of mindfulness, and then that means there's a preliminary of it. Then you develop further. You develop further and further and further. You're still using fourth foundation of mindfulness, right? And then that means that there's a more advanced level of fourth foundation of mindfulness. That means that more advanced level, it falls under 37 factors of enlightenment. Okay? Four right strivings. Samapadana. This is not samavayama, This is samapadana. Padana here, that means you are in the time when you are striving. Really, when you are in a state of striving. So there's no preliminary part of it. This is advanced part of it already. The effort here is on the advanced level already. This is not like in the level of your everyday life, and then, I make an effort to go to do the dana, then I have this right striving. No, this is not. Again, not. This right striving is for the advanced part only. Four bases of psychic potency. This one also, the way I look at it, my opinion, this is still have a beginning of it, because those people wants to attain enlightenment, but he has not advanced anywhere yet. But he already have a clear mind. You're going to strive already. Like that. Then he has a beginning of it. Then while he's striving later, then he still have that goal, very clear goal. You keep on pushing until the enlightenment get the enlightenment. 5 spiritual faculties and 5 powers, also the same thing. Here is where you practice, or when it comes to a time where you must know when to push something and when to reduce something, especially for these faculties. When to push and when to reduce. That means in the beginning, you've got nothing yet. You've got no mindfulness yet. What to balance? You've got no effort yet. You've got no concentration yet. What to balance? Nothing for you to balance. Right? So faculties is, that means in more advanced level, that you need to balance already. You need to balance how much is what, and make sure that they are in a state of balance, then only the progress can go through. If the mind is not in a state of balance, you cannot go further anymore. You become like your hindrance in a sense. So that faculties has advanced level. There's no preliminary level. 5 powers, also the same thing. It has an advanced level and this one. Now the 5 powers are some teachers says that spiritual faculties is lower, 5 powers is higher. No. No, again, no. We're going to elaborate on that again. We're going to elaborate on these 2 things further on when it comes to the talk. They are working hand in hand from a different perspective. Well, 5 powers I've mentioned before is that when your mindfulness is strong, it cannot be overcome by negligence or forgetfulness, or you forget about your object. So let's say, for example, if your wisdom is strong, it cannot be overcome by doubt or negligence or something like that. Or when your effort is strong, it cannot be overcome by your sloth and torpor. This is what we meant by 5 powers. The 5 faculties and 5 powers function differently. It's not that one is on top of the other. If one is on top of the other, then 5 faculties we don't need to say, 5 powers will do. Why want to go and say 5 faculties if they are the same? But they function slightly differently. That's why it is there. Not that one is better than the other one. 7 factors of enlightenment. Also, it's a more advanced form. There's no beginning form of it. There's no preliminary part of it. Now, if you want to know why 7 factors of enlightenment is fall under more advanced part, you have to go into Anapanasati Sutta. Anapanasati Sutta, towards the end, the Buddha says that develop the four foundation of mindfulness give rise to 7 factors of enlightenment. But doesn't mean that four foundation of mindfulness is not strong anymore. But when we practice, we know that even though the 7 factors of enlightenment is strong, but we are still using rising, falling, hardness, softness, thinking, pain, and so on. We still use those things, isn't it? Yeah. So 7 factors of enlightenment is more advanced, but there's no preliminary part of it. The Noble Eightfold Path. Noble Eightfold Path has the preliminary and also the advanced part of it. Therefore, that's why you need to start off with somewhere. So therefore, when the Noble Eightfold Path matures, and it matures into the realization of Nibbana. It fully matures, it matures into the realization of Nibbana. So here, when you look at 7 factors of 37 factors of enlightenment, you must know where is it more or less falls into. They are falls into a more advanced development. Maybe later on, another talk, we talk about what do you mean by more advanced development compared to what is preliminary. Where is the cut-off line? That one, we'll talk about it in another time. Okay? So the next talk, we're going into a bit of the 5 faculties and the 5 powers, and we're going to elaborate that much more. Okay, we stop here for tonight. Friday, yes, Friday we have a Q&A session. So if you have any questions, and then you can send it to Sister Hun Leng, and then we try to answer it on Friday.